All right. Like, comment, subscribe.
Ring the bell.
See, Melissa's back there. I can remember at some video somebody said something about, oh, I think Melissa's missing in action, Stefan. No, she's there. I just keep her hidden. She's
I
mine.
keep myself hidden.
Anyways, guys, we're over here at Springfield. I just tried to do a live, and no notifications ever went out. You know, Melissa never got any, and after 2 minutes, I just, all right, well, I'm not going to sit and just talk to an empty room, because I already blew too much time diddling around like I am right now before getting to the point, like I'm doing right now, so I might as well just stay live. Anyways, we're over here in Springfield. We had some work to get done on the truck and a DOT physical to do, which I got about an hour before I have to go do that. But here's a cool thing, or the stories that go on with coming here today is when I got the truck, the steering wheel was on crooked. I think I mentioned that in a past video. I had them straighten it, and they actually straightened it too far the other way, because when I took it in there, he said, hey, put it where you think it is off, and then I'll fix it. And he did. It took him 5 minutes. Done. The problem is where I thought it was off was not right, and the steering wheel was still screwed up. So we were already out under a load by then. So we come back here today, and the side box I had installed a month ago was loose. They didn't put, it looks like they put 2 bolts on it, so I don't think they had any bolts in it. Because it would just literally rattle, you could literally shake it around in the brackets that it sits in. So they fixed that, and I went in and talked to them and got them to do it under warranty, being they just installed it a month ago, which for a minute there it was a little, you know, she looked at me cross-eyed when I asked if they are going to charge me for it, you know, but she said she'll make notes not to charge it because it was just installed. So alignment, I called Road Assist after I left here and told them about it and said, hey, am I going to be, you know, I feel I should be able to come back and get another alignment done for free, which he agreed, and he said, yes, no problem. But now that I'm here, nobody here can seem to get the authorization to get me that free alignment. So I've had the alignment done. As of right now, I'm going to be charged for it, for them to fix their original 2 bad alignments. But they did give me a phone number of a higher up to call and talk to get it done. I'm really getting sick of the nitpicky nickel and dime for everything over here. I will have to admit that's getting old. Common sense, people. If you do a job and you didn't do it right, you warranty it. I shouldn't have to. Yeah, but you know, that was, when were you here? In March? Yeah. And I left because I had to go make money, and I didn't know it was fucked up until I took off with it. And I called you right away. It should be no questions asked. It should be, okay, yeah, you called. You said it wasn't right. We told you we're going to take care of it. It should be taken care of. I shouldn't have to jump through hoops. To this day, I still never got my full refund on the chains I turned in, and I'm done with that. You know what? I got some. I'm good. I'm not dealing with it anymore. This was not supposed to be a irritating video. Now I'm starting to get fired up. Okay, I got to calm down and straighten this out. Let's get to something good. So now I take the truck into the shop, where it's got a couple of issues. Number one, the inverter keeps turning itself off randomly. We have no clue why. The truck does not want to back up. The creep mode is not engaging properly. Sometimes it'll take it 30-40 seconds to engage, and by that time you've done rolled away and had to put your brakes on, which if you put your brakes on, it deactivates creep mode. And if you try to set creep mode, it doesn't always set. And so when it does set, it's very slow engaging, and it's causing the truck to start jumping and, you know, all this stuff. Well, kind of how I figured they were going to say is, yeah, that's too bad. That's just the way this truck is. There's nothing that can be done for it. So I'm sure eventually, like the old trucks, when they had those problems, they eventually had a computer flash and it was worked out. So hopefully that fixes itself on, you know, one day. Then the other thing is when you drive this truck hammered down 65 miles per hour, bouncing off the governor, it only runs 64 miles an hour. Both Qualcomm, Ram McNally, and Google GPS confirm 64 miles per hour. my speedometer bounces from 65 to 64 when you're set at 65. So it's right on that fence. Also, what gave it away for me was a prime truck passed me. Very, 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 very slowly, but they passed me. I mean, I was laughing. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So their truck was probably running a good 65 or a high. My blue truck, it ran a good high 65, meaning it ran between 65 and 66. Because I used to be able to do that. You used to do the creep by 65 mile an hour truck. So of course there's nothing they can do about that. That's just, you know, sorry, which I figured it was going to be. So they can't fix that. Then the turbo issue is normal. It's the new turbos that they have on them that they spool up higher or some, I forgot what he said, but it's normal. They're all doing it. So I kind of figured that was the case. So that's good. So let's go back to this inverter thing, because that's going to be a problem when it comes time to home time. You know, I'm not going to be able to trust the refrigerator staying on. And so I was really impressed with this mechanic. He literally had the battery box cover off about 3 or 4 times because he checked things and he'd think of something else to check. He got on a creeper, went under the truck, he checked he checked everything he can freaking think to check. And really gave it his all. So when it was all said and done, he's like, I'm really not seeing anything. Let me talk to the higher ups and see about it. Which that right there is good, because most guys are going to be too much pride to ask anybody for help. Too much pride to ask, you know, call tech support or whatever. So I'm tinkering around the outside of the truck, looking at some stuff that I'm going to want to do to it in the future, and how brackets come off and so on and so forth. And all of a sudden I hear him go, up, I figured it out. And I'm like, yes. So I'm like, all right, well, what's up? And he comes, I climb up on the driver's side, he climbs up on the passenger steps, and he goes, it's your wall switch, which somebody mentioned this. He goes, it's the curtains hitting the on-off switch on the wall switch. He says the old trucks didn't have the on-off switch up there. He goes, so while you're driving down the road or you bump your curtains, especially your curtains, they're really thick, it's hitting the switch. And it's funny because I was talking to him earlier about how that's stupid, because he was looking to see what kind of wattage was running on there. I said, that's a dumb place you guys put that thing. I'm going to move it because it's going to rip my curtains. So I laughed when he said that. I said, oh, so does that mean that you'll be able to move it? And he goes, yeah, where do you want me to put it? And I said, well, just put it up there. He's like, oh, won't the blue light bother you at night? No, man, I run blue lights in the cab anyways. And even if they did, you can just put something over it and be fine, rather than not have a APU and not see the blue light. But anyways, let me show you where they put it. Right above below the cabinet and above that seat. So now you can actually see it. Now it's actually an actual functional part. I haven't looked at it. Maybe you can turn the light off on it. I haven't even ever looked at it because it's different than my old one. My old one didn't have an on-off switch on it. It was only a gauge. So guys, if you've got the newer one with the on-off switch and you have your inverter turning off for God knows reason, because I would always go down to the inverter and press the reset on the inverter and it would turn it on, because that's an on-off switch on the inverter too. They're both. So that's cool. And he even proved it. He went up there and we wiggled it, and yeah, it shredded off. And then I went down and turned it back on. But so yeah, anybody's got that issue, just think of that, and you know, what the hell. But yeah, I really would have liked to have gone live, guys, but I don't know why. No notifications went out. Still, Melissa didn't say, oh, I finally got one, because usually they'll go out eventually. What happened, babe?
Huh?
Oh, never mind. Nothing.
I dropped my chip.
Okay. So that's where we're at. Now I'm waiting to do my DOT. Once I do my DOT, we are out of here. Well, I shouldn't say we're out of here. We don't have a load yet, and the yard looks very, very thin on trailers. So hopefully we can get a load. I may even try to go live later again after my DOT. See if maybe that helps. That's trucking.
Yeah.
And Josh, clickbait.